What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Thursday edition of the Ysn Power Hour. DJ Oakley here. We got Quinn below me. Below him, you got the coach. You got the Betos house, apparently. Jeff Betos with a cigar. And we got Billy Mack down at the bottom. A little live look-in action here as we have some games going on right now. Bob Seton Park, Field 1. Richie Giuliano on the call. You got the Akron A and Andy's Niners going at it. Andy's Niners in the fourth inning out to a 2-0 advantage. So we're just going to keep it up one for you. We think it's a great platform. Obviously, what we do, what we feel we do best when worlds collide here. We'll talk about sports and we'll watch sports at the same time. But guys, it is a national day as we start our day with each and every broadcast. It's National Mascot Day. And we're going to hide that because it hides Billy's face. So my question to you is, what is the best mascot in the world? Who would you take if you were, and it doesn't have to be associated with a school, but if you were starting a college or a team, what would your mascot be and why? Quinn, you're up.
I don't know. That's tough because there's a lot of good ones. I don't know. You got to come back to me. I don't know.
Okay.
I got to think about that.
I think we all know where the next one's going to go. Coach?
I'm going to surprise you. I'm not going to go with the Trojan. I'm actually going to go with my favorite mascot, which is Brutus Buckeye.
Wow. So you take a nut over a fighting soldier.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worn out on the Trojan jokes.
All right, I get it. I can see that. Jeffrey, what do you have?
I'm going to go with a tiger. Because why not? I have a live tiger at every game.
Like LSU?
Like
Yeah.
Maslin.
And Maslin?
Yeah, just have a live tiger. Just wheel it in.
Does Maslin still do that?
They do. It's OB, I think, 5 now at this point.
So they're like...
But my tiger won't be in a cage. It's going to be just roaming around the stadium. They're just going to put like a muzzle on it and be like, all right, bud, go.
You're going to put a muzzle on a tiger?
Yeah, we're going to try it.
Peter's going to be right up your keister, buddy.
Peter can suck my butt.
Billy Mack, who's your favorite mascot?
For some reason, I really like the Oregon Duck mascot. I'm not really sure why. I just appreciate him, and he seems to be everywhere when that Capital One commercial comes around in the fall. So maybe it's like subliminal messages or something. I don't know.
People in Oregon are using Capital One at the bigger clip.
Apparently.
We also have Michael Page, whatever Gritty is from the Flat. I hate that stupid thing.
Yeah.
Number 1, he's from Philadelphia. Number 2, he's just a weird. It's just a thing. He's terrifying.
Oh, we got Joe Dickey Electric meeting in the mine. Bullpen visit.
Look at there we go. You think Richie did the sponsor plug?
No doubt in my mind, he did not.
I would go. Listen, I loved being a Bulldog in high school. Not really in love with the color scheme that we had, but being a Titan in college was awesome because Titans are just tighten up, like all that stuff. I didn't like the West Mini stuff.
He's got shorts on at Bob Seton Park.
Who does?
Their coach did. Their coach. Oh no.
I didn't know that was unacceptable.
It is. Well, if you're coaching. See, there's a stolen base. Catcher's indifference, and Ron will tell you that doesn't count as a stolen base, which is stupid.
Why?
I don't know. It's what he says. Siggy says Brutus is the best, but Chief, what?
Is that the Florida State thing?
Yeah, the Seminoles.
I don't even know how to pronounce that. Osceola? Are we talking about like the actual mascot, like coming into the game? Like
Yes. Yeah, the guy.
Gotcha. Yeah,
The actual.
doesn't he do the spike? He spikes it right at the 50.
Yes. The
Yes.
plate.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. It's on fire?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that little top.
Yes.
Holy cow! I got to get up on this stuff. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best stadium entrance, though.
Who has the best college mascot? Are we all going to go with Ohio State? Because I'm going to go against that. I think it's kind of
Texas.
I would go Oregon still.
Okay.
I think I might go Oklahoma on this.
The Sooner with the wagon?
Yeah, with the wagon coming out and everything.
I can get
Either
behind
that
that.
or
I also like the Texas Tech guy.
Red Raider.
the Cowboy or whatever. Yeah.
And then
Isn't
you
it-
got Oklahoma State is pretty cool too.
West Virginia's pretty badass too. Don't they shoot the muskets?
Yeah,
West
they
Virginia's
Yeah.
is stupid cool.
Who?
It's awesome. West Virginia.
Yeah.
It is awesome.
Better take me home.
Kate
And
says
after
Oklahoma for
post game
sure.
is amazing too.
Their post game?
Yeah.
Yeah, they play John Denver
Once
Country
they
Roads.
beat your ass, they all sing Country Roads. It's pretty cool.
So the Big 12's got the best mascots out of for conferences.
I would say that's probably legit.
Yeah, probably.
probably accurate.
What does Michigan do anything?
No, they
They come out
suck.
to Seven
Lose.
Nation Army.
They just
That's
lose.
what they do.
They get their ass kicked, but they come out to Seven Nation Army.
Doug Horning
Harbaugh
says,
makes a drink more.
not the pit parrot. I was struck out by that stupid bird 3 times in an exhibition game when I was 10 years old. And that, coincidentally, is the last 3 strikeout game that Pittsburgh Pirates have had. All of Doug Horning. Yeah, I got to go with you. The Big 12, they're really scooping this up. The mascot thing is all theirs. Didn't they used to have a mascot challenge? It was a Capital One mascot challenge, wasn't it?
Yeah, they do a vote every year still.
They still do
Towards the
that?
end of the year. Yeah, towards the end of the year they do like a voting fan vote.
Who has the worst mascot?
Oh,
Stanford.
That's a tough one.
the tree?
Yeah.
Tree.
And they call it the
Tree.
Cardinal?
Stupid.
Yeah, that's kind of dumb. There's going to be a lot of people that don't like this answer. I think Ohio State's is dumb.
Syracuse with a stupid orange.
Oh, whoa.
It's an orange, Jeff. It's
Whoa.
stupid.
Whoa.
Why are you
You
afraid of an
kidding me?
orange? It's dumb.
Probably the
Now
same
you're-
reason people are
now
afraid of a
you're-
nut.
Now you're a fan of you're a fan of Syracuse?
Oh, he's
I
been.
was always a fan of Syracuse.
He's been a Syracuse basketball fan for years.
Since
Yeah,
Jerry
I love that.
McNamara was in
There's
diapers.
there's like a theme there, like, hey, good teams I like to root for. Jeff Bezos is
Whoa,
near the top
whoa,
of that.
whoa. Pot and kettle, Mr. San Diego.
They didn't win last year.
Robbie!
They haven't won in a long time, as a matter of fact.
I don't think they have a World Series championship, to be honest. I'm almost certain they don't have a World Series championship.
Jeff, are you
I
all
don't
right?
think-
Yeah, I just got scared.
So I Googled what are the worst college mascots, and the Stanford tree is number one.
It has to be.
Gotta
It's
be.
stupid.
Wushock the wheat stalk from Wichita State was number 2. And Sammy the Slug from UC Santa Cruz is number 3.
I like the Shockers
Those
mascot.
guys. Yeah.
I like if I'm going
Did
Brand?
UCLA do a mascot?
what?
Yeah, it's a Bruin, Jeff.
You know what a Bruin is, Jeff?
No. Like a bear? It's a bear.
There you go.
USC beats that butt all the time.
Jeff, because I haven't talked to you in a couple of days, how did you miss all the answers when I was giving you the answers the other day? All the questions when I was giving them to you.
The test?
Yeah.
Because when I got them, we were already on the next question.
Okay.
There is a little bit of a delay.
Like we're literally like when you text me, I would like look down and be like, "Oh my, well, okay," and then I couldn't put two together. Like, hey, let's slow it down here, Jeff. Let's think. We're thinking about an answer and wait for Billy to text back. I didn't think about that until now.
Yeah. It's literally taking him a week to figure out if he just buys himself some time, he'd have it.
Yeah.
What?
At some
But-
point, you got to figure it out a little bit.
Apparently,
The three branches of the government, one of them is the Republican Party.
I never said I was smart.
apparently the University of North Carolina School for the Arts has a mascot, and they are the Fighting Pickles.
That
I'd
would
get
be
down with
pretty-
some fighting pickles.
Is it like a deep fried pickle? That would be even cooler.
No, it's just a pickle.
You gonna eat your mascot?
I would.
The fighting
Like-
pickles. Like, who would lose to a fighting pickle? That's what I want to know.
Jeff.
Lake Erie College.
What?
Lake Erie College would do.
They're the Storm,
No, they-
right?
Yeah,
Yes.
they're the Storm, and they're pretty good in baseball.
Yeah, they're
Pretty
really
good in
good.
a lot of things.
Well, they're going to be a lot better in track since they signed Zach Simon yesterday. of Ursuline. So congratulations to Zach. And way to do the segue there, Jeffrey. Right,
He had no idea
he
he
had
was
zero
doing that.
clue. Zero clue.
I'm the nut.
I am shocked that he knew where Lake Erie College was.
My buddy Steve owes 3 records
Ooh.
in football there.
Throw it. Throw the bat. Attaboy.
He chucked it.
He owns 3 records: most interceptions, longest punt return, and most punt return yards in a season.
You can remember that, but you can't remember that the judicial, executive, and legislative branches are the.
That's that answer. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You never
Joe Dickey Electric Mound.
Dude, what is that guy wearing?
That looks like a softball travel team top.
was.
Is that
With
fair?
shorts? No,
It's
Farron's
gotta
not on a
be-
baseball field.
Is this the Manchester A's? This has got to be the Manchester A's because they're from Akron.
We reached out to Richie. He said it is indeed the Akron A.
Except for we asked Jeff, and he said that was the Andes Bears.
And he's
Anybody fire down?
The number
Sorry,
9 apparently looks like a B in Jeff's world.
From back here, it looks like a B. I'm sorry.
dude, there's not even enough letters.
Oh, Jesus, Coach. Can we just buy? All right, move on. Next segment.
There is no segment. This is the segment.
I hate it.
Did you guys see any of the NBA game last night that the Sixers crapped down their leg? Quinn, I know you did.
I actually did not, but
What?
I saw. No, I don't watch the Sixers. That's a waste of my time.
What was the
But
lead?
I did see they blew a massive lead.
Did they say it was 26? Am I making that up?
At one point, it was 26. Yes,
Like,
it was. I think 18 going into the last 5 minutes or something like that. It was bad.
Kate's right, Jeff. She's shocked, and I am too now, and I think about it, that you didn't see it as Andy's Beers.
Beers?
Can you read?
Andy's Bears?
What's everyone's take on the whole foreign substance ordeal going on there? This is a good question, Paige.
I liked
This is my beef today.
Well, let's get right to it. Let's lead us off. Tell me what you think about this.
Listen, I'm going to actually read something that was taken yesterday by Trevor Bauer, who I am a huge fan of. So let me pull it up real quick. If I could figure out my picture situation here. All right, here we go.
I like this.
Bauer said, this is what Bauer said yesterday. He says, one of the massive problems with what MLB is doing is they've knowingly slept under the rug for 4 years. Now they implement a knee-jerk reaction to the shifting public. Hard to hear them talk about competitive integrity when they have no integrity to begin with. And I can't agree with this wholeheartedly. And it's throughout the history of the game. Okay. The biggest crackdown baseball's ever did was with the Black Sox and Pete Rose. That's about, to me, those are the two incidences where the Major League Baseball has really cracked down on anybody, and they allowed the steroid era to happen. And one of the reasons why they allowed it, they all knew about it. You can read books and documentaries on it, and watch documentaries on it about how they allowed it because ratings were through the roof when the Sosa McGuire era was happening. Mm-hmm. And it basically saved baseball. So it's okay in one instance to say because they saved baseball, they allowed it. They just a couple years ago, all these Astro guys got immunity for coming out and basically snitching on themselves. Okay, after they were already snitched on, by the way, and nothing happened to them. Nothing. They didn't get their championship taken away. They didn't get any type of punishments. The head coach and the GM got fired. That was about it. That was it. And now they're coming out and saying, because pitchers are using sunscreen and rosin, which are not a banned substance, by the way. So players are getting smarter. And so you got to implement some type of rule. That's fine. Okay with it. But in the same sentence, you got 2-3 years ago, the Astros were cheating and nothing happened to them. So how can you go and I'm conflicted because they're conflicted. They're on one side, they're okay with cheating, and the other side, they're not okay with cheating. So I'm trying to figure out which side of the fence they're on today. Tomorrow it could be something totally different.
Is it really cheating if the substance is not banned?
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's
You're not allowed
banned,
to put stuff on your hands or your hat any substance that changes the grip on the baseball.
Okay,
So it was
so
a mixture between sunscreen and rosin. So the mixture
Why do they
between
have sunscreen? Why do they have sunscreen? So they're not getting sunburned, Billy? Is that like that? We're gonna lean on that.
I'm just saying, like, sunscreen was not a banned substance because for that reason they're allowed to use sunscreen. Now with the mixture of, yeah, I mean, this is something that I had no idea about until this year, was people are using sunscreen and rosin as a combination, and that's basically making it real sticky. Which sunscreen itself is pretty sticky, to be honest. I mean, if you're the spray comes on, it's pretty sticky. But you know, players are getting a little bit smarter. They want it, that ball. They're saying that ball's coming out of their hand. I've been a pitcher my whole life. I've never really lost control of the ball that much. Maybe maybe out of 300 throws, I lost the ball one time like that. But I also didn't throw 95.
Here's my thing: is I don't care if they cheat. Is that bad? Is that bad to just come out and say, like, listen, if you want to put hormones into your body, or you want to put HGH into your body, and you want to hit a baseball 700 feet, I don't care. I will be enamored by it, because I don't go to Major League Baseball to see average people do average things in the game of baseball. I want to see some wow power. I want to see 17 strikeouts. I want to, like, if you're going to let one of them cheat, let the other one cheat too. But you can't ban, my thing is, you can't ban somebody for steroids for 80 games in one swipe, and in the same breath say, well, we're only going to, if pitchers are caught with, you know, messing around or essentially trying to create opportunity, they're only going to get 10 days? Like, something's messed up with that. There's two different extremes there.
Did anybody see the interview with Trevor Bauer yesterday when he was talking about this?
No.
Like, actually see the live video of it? So
yeah, when he stuck the ball in his hand, is that what you're talking about?
And he's talking, he's holding his hand like this, and the ball is completely stuck to his hand. And they're like, okay. And he's like, that's sweat and rosin. That's all that is. The ball was stuck to his hand upside down with sweat and rosin. And he was like, what are they going to do? Tell me I can't sweat? They provide me with rosin.
What is that? What's that? Spider
Tech.
Spider Tech.
Yeah,
I thought that was
sticky. That's a sticky spray. It's a sticky spray. So Garrett Cole's a cheating bastard, but
whoa.
And I've been saying, listen, I said this last year. I said Garrett Cole's a cheating bastard.
Actually, Jeff's the one that should be kind of apologizing. He's been pretty harsh on the Astros, and his guy's been cheating.
Right.
It's true.
We all know he didn't do it with the Pirates, because obviously he would have been a little bit better.
No, he was only 92 miles an hour with the Pirates. Then he goes to Houston. Now all of a sudden he's 101 miles an hour.
Best pitcher in baseball.
It's the same thing with Verlander.
He went to Houston.
Did they play for the same team?
What team did he go to, Jeff?
The Astros. The Houston Astros. But that's what I'm saying. He was also throwing like 91, 92 in Detroit.
But he was throwing perfect games and no hitters. That was the difference.
100 miles an hour.
Garrett Cole was getting taken yard by every single St. Louis Cardinal there was known to man.
Andy's Bears are tearing it up.
Bear down.
Bear down, he says. I mean, Jeff, from your standpoint, is there anything different from your boy cheating to what the Astros are doing?
Well, yeah, you definitely
did.
I would definitely say that I did watch his next start after they brought that thing out where if they catch you using these certain stuff, they're going to ban you. They're going to suspend you for 10 days, or 10 games, whatever the hell check it was. But you could definitely see that he was laboring through that game. Like, he missed terrible. Like, I think he had a curveball that didn't really curve that much and just got hit out of the ballpark. Like, it was noticeable that he was missing that stuff. He's missing that because he said he has to grip the ball tighter. Has to do different things now. Like, well, Garrett, thanks, Garrett.
Yeah, there's another name to add to the list, Charlie Morton. That guy can stick it too.
Billy Mack too. Stick it to him too.
You're saying Billy Mack's cheating?
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to say to that, Billy?
That's real. It's real convenient when you can just accuse people. This is the world we live in anymore. We can just accuse people of cheating, and you have no facts to back it up.
You know who's not cheating? Jacob DeGrom.
No,
Pittsburgh Pirates.
no. Jacob DeGrom is not cheating.
When you have guys coming out of nowhere, we're gonna go from second to home on a pass ball. Hey, baby,
that is
lazy.
hustle right there.
That's lazy by the catcher. That should never happen anywhere.
He was definitely slow.
Would that drive you crazy, Billy?
Yes.
As a coach, would you yell at that catcher?
I wouldn't have to because Pletch would be all over that.
Kid was stealing. So
even stealing, that should still never happen. I mean, like you got to bust your ass to get back there and get that ball. Like that's just
it looked like he was hustling.
That's my coach right there.
I'll give him credit. It looked like he was hustling, but let's be honest too. That fence at Scene Park isn't exactly on your tail.
It is big. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, look at this. The Niners just keep doing it.
Good job, bear down.
Put another shrimp on the Barbie.
It should be 12 runs after 4 in there.
It is?
Yeah, I think it's 15 after 3, 12 after 4, 10 after 5.
Richie utilizing our 2-camera system about as well as Jeff does.
I had to click it, Jeff, when he and I worked the game there.
Yeah, I was forgetting the coach was doing it. I was like,
did you ever notice there's this
early in the morning, girl.
There's a huge bumblebee that lives somewhere outside of that press box, and it always gets on camera.
Well, we've got bumblebee coverage.
We do have that. As long as we're tweeting about the bumblebee, we got him covered.
That's right.
Yeah,
have you seen the bumblebee uniforms down there at the park?
I've not.
They got some bumblebee forms? Oh, wait. Is that Whiting?
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
I like that's like the old school Pirates ones. Yellow tops. Oh, that was in. Uh-oh. There he goes again. Oh, he is chugging.
It's just like a semi-truck. It takes him a minute to get going.
And he's running. He's trying to locate the ball because it sounds weird. In the daylight, it's like this time of day, it's tough to locate a baseball.
What just happened to Quinn?
I didn't trip the sensor. I had to get up to trip the sensor, and I didn't do it.
Wave your arms really.
Are you in the office?
No, the sensor's on the other side over there. I got to get up and walk over there.
Wave your hand.
It's all the way over there. My hand ain't going to be seen. It's by the doors. I'm in the corner.
Billy, is there a favorite in this tournament? Not named the Astro Falcons?
There's a couple really good teams in this tournament. So they have it on the exposure app. It's like it'll give you everybody that's playing in it and all the games. Andy's Niners are a good team. I mean, they're always in the thick of it towards the end. They're a team that comes around for the NABF World Series, and the Ohio Longhorns are really good. The Lake Erie Warhawks are usually somewhere near the finals. Who else is all the Class B teams that are in it always have a chance. I mean, Class B it's really weird. Class B gets frowned upon. And then when we started doing a lot of these Midwest teams, we're playing Brownlee, we're playing Ohio Elite, we're playing the Longhorns, and we held our own, if not beat them, as an organization as a whole. And now we're starting to get a little bit more respect. People were sleeping on the Youngstown Valley for baseball, and with a lot of the Western PA kids coming into the mix too, it's emerged as one of the elite amateur baseball organizations. So. IVL is a really good one. Logan played for IVL. So there's some really good teams. West Hills is also a favorite. They're
out of Pittsburgh.
They're big time. Austin Hendricks was the 12th pick in the draft last year. He played for them. He went to the Cincinnati Reds. So they're a really good team as well.
Okay, so I've got a question that I had brought up to me by a parent, and they said, what is the benefit of playing rec or community ball as well as playing travel ball at the same time? What are the benefits of playing on two teams that are to me, on different sides of the spectrum?
So what age group we talking here? Because
I would say less specific the better, because you have this happening from 10U now all the way up till 18U.
So I would say I'll give you like what I give my 12-year-old teams, and then I'll talk about my 18-year-olds. So my 12-year-old team is just about playing games, right?
Yeah.
We're going to play somewhere between, like, our 12U Astro team is going to play anywhere from 30 to 40 games. So traditionally, a youth program usually plays 25 games, and then if you make an all-star team, you might get a chance to play another 15 at best. So just the idea of playing more games is a good thing. Then you have to manage that with pitchers and things like that. But for the most part, the youth game, it's just about playing as many games as possible and keeping it at a competitive level. So you don't want to play where you're getting crushed by teams, but you also don't want to be playing teams that you're just annihilating. With the upperclassmen, it's about opportunities to play in front of the right people. So wherever that may lead you to, and some scenarios is different than others. If you're playing for, let's say, like some of our boys played for release baseball, it's good to play release baseball because they might be able to get you in front of some people that maybe Class B could not. Or, let's say like some of the West Coast teams, you go out and play West in the West Coast area or west of Nebraska, you might be able to run into, some teams out West Coast that would never travel to Ohio to watch some of our kids. It would have to be through video or something like that. With Class B, you're going to get in front of every North Coast to all the way to the Southeast Coast teams that you can. All those teams work really well with Class B and all the coaches that are there. So it's just about exposure at that point. But competitive level, this is one of the best years competitively I've seen in a long time at Class B. So if you're looking for just, hey, I want to go play competitive baseball, the community baseball at the higher level is kind of died away. There's no more like East Palestine 18-year-olds and Boardman 18-year-olds. It's now converged right to Class B for the most part.
So here's another part of that question. How many games are too many games for 10U, 12U? Before you start playing 70 games at the 14U level and all the way through the 18U level.
I think it's different, isn't it, Billy? Because, like, for pitchers, there's definitely a too many games point. But if you're just, in the field and you're getting at bats, I don't know if I necessarily see too many being an issue.
The problem, here's let me preface this. So I see your point, Matt, but I also think that there is some issues. Actually, I got to take this call real quick if you don't mind. So just carry on.
I would say this, Matt, with the pitching, I don't have an issue. If your team's built correctly, where you're going to have – now the problem is most teams are not built correctly. So on an average travel team, you're probably looking at like 14, 15 kids. When you get to the point where you're 15, 16, 17 years old, you got to have a thing called PO, so that stands for pitcher only. Yeah. So you got to know your role. Those are the starters. So let's say out of a 15-man roster, you're going to have 4 guys that are going to be the starting pitchers, and they're going to be on a rotation. And then everybody else on your team has to be a pitcher or the majority of your team. So let's say out of 15, 12 of those guys can pitch for you effectively, right? Okay. With the 4 guys being pitcher only, their job is to only pitch. If you get them in a bat, God bless you. But the idea is you're just going to be a pitcher only. I'm giving away some secrets here, but if you do it that way, you can play as many games as you like. I'm from a small school anyway, and I like multiple sport athletes. So this is where the concern always comes into play is. Like we play up until August, well, obviously there's a thing, football happens in August. So we don't take a lot of football kids on our team because we play so late. We rarely really take football kids. But a lot of those kids are going to go play baseball at the next level. So that's kind of why we were able to do that.
I know your feelings on this, but is it still, you still want an off season, right? You wouldn't want kids playing. You wouldn't, especially pitchers, throwing year round, would you?
No. So even like when I do my stuff with Driveline, my guys are usually on a rest period. Right about once they figure out like what team they're going to go play for the next year, that's usually about middle of August. So middle of August, they'll be completely shut down until about roughly Thanksgiving. Is roughly about where they're at. And then they're usually about, say, 12 to 13 weeks away from the start of spring. So that gives them plenty of time. And a lot of those kids, I love the baseball schedule. You go play football. And then basketball, if you're a pitcher, it's really hard to be a basketball player and be a really good pitcher. It's not like it's been done before. Okay, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here, but if you're a high end talent and you're trying to go D1 to pitch, you're going to need that winter time to prepare your body and your mind to pitch at a college level. So that's kind of where my mind changes a little bit. Where maybe not. If you're not going to go to college to play basketball, or you're not a high level basketball player in high school, then you should think about maybe if you're a good pitcher, you should think about maybe just being a pitcher.
I'm always kind of interested in those off seasons and how you kind of work those in. And Quinn, I'm interested in your take on this too, because I know, for us from a football perspective, we don't necessarily want a quarterback throwing, 12 months out of the year, but we want him to at least pick a ball up and toss it around here and there so that he doesn't lose that motion. And, so that first week of August or the late end of July isn't just dead arm period where they're going home and just have a completely shot arm every day.
I mean, well, Coach, you're doing pass leagues are starting in the middle of June already this year. So, I mean, let's not they're dead period in August. Like, you guys are every year, football is starting sooner and sooner. And now you got free the wild, wild west, like you say, and you guys are doing stuff now. So,
Quinn, is there, do you guys typically like there to be a dead period for your kids?
When it comes to basketball?
Yeah.
Basketball's a little different because there's not really an injury that's guaranteed that could happen that could ruin something. In baseball, you got your Tommy Johns and stuff like that, shoulders, elbows, you got to worry about. In basketball, the only thing you really worry about is an ankle or a knee, which usually comes from practicing with you all the time at football. So at our small schools, where we're at with Lisbon, we're worried about ankles and stuff like that. But other than that, it's kind of we can go almost whenever. It doesn't really matter. There's not much to monitor almost.
So I think the injury conversation is kind of interesting. And I know a lot of shapers in football as well on the injury conversation, but I always find it really interesting that the majority of severe injuries happen actually in soccer.
So soccer is the leading head injury in all sports. I mean, you know that as well as I do. If you went to any football educational camp for coaches, that's one of the first things they talk about is, don't let the parents kind of mislead you with head injuries. Head injuries are at an all-time alarming rate in soccer compared to football, and it's not close. And that's what the commercials NFL throughout this flag football. I think it's crazy when the NFL comes out with heads up football, but then again, they promote the crap out of their flag football leagues, right. Which is almost contradicting to themselves. Either you're promoting your sport or you're not promoting your sport. Flag football is not the same as regular football. Don't get it twisted. Don't confuse the two because it's not. And you allow these parents to kind of do their own research without talking to anybody who actually is involved in the game. And you get the message out like a mass virus almost throughout social media saying football is bad. I don't want my kids playing football because of concussions. And the NFL and high school coaches in particular do a great job of training themselves and training their staffs anymore. And the NFL makes sure that it trickles down. So, I mean, it's rough, man. It's rough to be a football coach in today's world because parents just go out there and they say whatever the hell they want to say. And they claim that football has all these kinds of injuries, but there's way more soccer injuries and everything. I've seen dislocated elbows, dislocated kneecaps, all kinds of things that happen on a soccer field with no padding, with no nothing to soften the blow that football is able to do.
Interesting note there from Mama Yoakley saying that in the ER they saw more basketball injuries than any other sport. I think that those are kind of fluke injuries and fluke accidents. You can have those in any sport for sure, but I would say the basketball injuries that I've seen that have been really bad ones, they've been kind of freak accidents.
So when it comes to baseball injuries, especially when it comes to the arm, I'm a big proponent of how you train in the off season. So it's important. So that's why I love driveline so much. Is a lot of people get the misconception of like driveline enhances your velocity, and that's the only thing it does. But actually, it's not. It does to a degree. But the most important thing about the driveline program itself is the care of your arm. That's the first thing you're talking about. There is say you're in an hour increment of doing training. 25 minutes is going to be a warm up. 20 minutes is going to be a cool down period and a low stress period. So you're looking at that 20, you got 45 minutes where you're basically warming up and cooling down. And you got 15 minutes or so, you're basically gung ho and pitching off of a mound. So it's pretty crazy to me. Unless you're Garrett Cole and you get sticky substances and you can do whatever you want.
I thought he fell asleep. I didn't know. I just came back and I saw Jeff like this.
It was CS.
I was on Twitter.
Were you covering anything?
Yeah, I was covering the Yankees. Starting lineup came out today. DJ LeMay, who's hitting leadoff, batting .230. That's a great leadoff fucking. Sorry, excuse my language. That's on me. I'll do my 10 push-ups later.
$1 in the jar.
It's like $50 now. But you got me talking about the Yankees. And, I cover them. It's very passionate coverage.
Did anybody say the word Yankee before Jeff?
No.
Nope.
No.
I said, are you covering anybody on Twitter? And you said, Yankees. Covering the Yankees. Here's an F-bomb.
Let me drop this.
Unsolicited, Jeff. Unsolicited.
I'm sorry. Hey, Billy, you talked about, how is a team, built, wrong? What is a team built wrong?
What do you mean?
You said you guys, you built, your team to have, pitchers only, kind of, and is, a team built wrong that have, position players pitch and play position?
No, I hold on, back up, because I first off, just to clarify, I've never said anybody built a team wrong. I'm just saying this is how I build my teams. That's all.
Okay.
It was.
Okay.
I don't want to make the illusion out here that I got some special magic or something. This is just how we build our teams for years, and it's our way. It doesn't have to be the right way or the wrong way or indifferent or whatever. It's just the way we build our teams. That's all. We have position players and we have multiple catchers that play they catch, and then we have pitcher onlys that their job is to only pitch. Now you get away with that the older you are, because a lot of those kids that are POs, they understand what their role is going to the next level. They're going to go be college baseball pitchers. If you get down to that 16, that 14U division, it gets a little tricky because they don't know yet, and kids aren't developed yet. So it's hard to, mix and match in between. At our roster size, we get 25 guys. Now, a typical travel team has anywhere between 15 and 17, like a national travel team,
Okay.
So you don't have that. You can't have 7 pitcher onlys because you're going to be in trouble here.
We got the Glaciers in Premier now. Here, I think this is scene 2, right? Or is this 3?
This looks like it is field 2.
Looks like 2.
Yeah, it's 2.
It's field 2 because field 3 has that bigger scoreboard.
What is that thing what is this thing right here? You see this?
No.
What is that?
That looks like the umpire might have put something there.
Oh, okay.
Like a water jug or something.
Maybe a drink pouch or something.
They got these water jugs now that click onto the fence.
That's pretty
First
cool.
time I've seen them this year. Almost like you're a batting bag, how it would clip on. Now they got water jugs to do that.
I wonder if we can. I can't do 2 screens. That'd be sweet if I could do 2 screens.
Get multiple games up there.
It'd be like audible call here.
Where are these 2 teams from, Billy? Do you know?
Glaciers are from Austin Town.
Okay.
So they're a travel organization. Their headquarters is in Struthers, right down the street from Bobstein Park, but their fields and where they play at is in Austin Town at Coke Field.
Okay. And then how about
Premier is a Cleveland team, I believe. I think they're out of that Diamond League.
And the coverage is just expanding constantly.
Pop flies. Premier, they took out the bats in the bottom of the 5th when you return.
Is it Bob Zanny? I don't know who that is. I'm trying to figure out who's doing the games. I mean, we have a master schedule, but I'm trying to see if I'm good enough to figure out
Who the voice is.
who the voice is without having to look. We know that was Richie. I mean, we know Richie. We know most of our guys. But some of these guys, I'm still trying to understand. Some of these guys sound very much alike. You ever notice that?
There's a couple guys that I get them confused.
Ty and Alec sound a lot alike.
Yeah.
You can tell the difference when they get excited because Ty gets excited like I do, and Alec keeps a neutral tone, which is impressive. But this is nice for the sponsors as well. This is nice for the advertisers because they get
a little
double action. I like it. Billy, what's your take on essentially? We talked about. I think we talked about it yesterday. Kids that are playing basketball, and they're playing. It's baseball season. They're getting ready for football here. If they're going into high school because they're able to condition if their coach wants them to do all that stuff. And is there such a thing as overkill when it comes to kids being in sports?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, think about like your everyday work schedule. You know what I mean? Raising kids and trying to be a husband and all those things and a family man. I mean, think about your life in general of everyday routines, right? And a kid's routine always gets pushed to the back burner. We use us old timers. We kind of go, you're a kid, you're a 15-year-old kid. What do you know? And your body can do all these things. Well, I mean, they need a break. They do. And with a lot of my pitchers, that I deal with the baseball players, we, usually about August is a shutdown period. Problem is a lot of these kids play football, so there's no shutdown period. Mm-hmm. And in high school, like one sport basically just bleeds into the next. And if you play baseball, it's right back into it. And then you're back to football. If you're a 3-sport athlete, life is hard for you. And you don't really get an opportunity to be a teenager. Go to Cedar Point, hang out with your buddies or go to Lake Milton to just kind of hang out for a day. I mean, those days are few and far between. You don't really get a break to kind of go getting into trouble, like we would, nothing crazy, but like it's really tough. And sometimes it's a coach's responsibility to say, hey, go away for a week, go away for 2 weeks.
Yeah, unstructured opportunities.
I always feel for our parents that are trying to schedule vacations for these kids that are multi-sport athletes.
What's a vacation?
Yeah, they don't,
right.
Either don't do them or, I've had conversations with parents where they're like, we are going on vacation these dates. And I'm like, good, great. Glad to hear it.
Yeah, it's so hard. I mean, just using my life experience with my parents is our vacations were structured around baseball tournaments. So we would go to, let's say Myrtle Beach is a hot destination for a baseball tournament. That would be a vacation to us. Even though I'm playing baseball, It would be a family vacation to us. And we're not the only ones that have done that. So that's kind of what it turns out to be when you're a 3-sport athlete. But yeah, family vacations are few and far between, especially when you start to hit right about that 13, 14-year-old up.
Paige says, played football, wrestling, and baseball for 3 of my 4 years. Wouldn't recommend to high school kids. It takes a toll.
Well,
I don't know if I would ever not recommend it. I'm not one of those coaches that don't believe, I said it a little bit before. It all depends on what your goals are. When you become a high school athlete, you kind of figure out some things real quick. How good am I? That. Even if you don't want to admit to it out loud to anybody, you kind of see yourself, you can kind of understand where you're at. If you're going to be a college guy, you may not want to play 3 sports. It may turn out to be 2, so you could prepare for the one that you're going to go into college for. But up until that moment, I would say play every sport. You're not going to ever get those experiences back. And it's really hard to be a 30-year-old man or woman, for that matter, Jeff, when you go back and go, I missed out on an opportunity to play high school football, or I missed out on an opportunity to play high school basketball and play in an environment where we're going to a state championship run, or be like Kennedy, and go to and win a state championship. You just don't know it's going to be really hard and difficult. Somebody at JFK is going, I wish I would have played baseball this year, even if I wasn't going to play that much. Somebody at that school is saying that right now, just to be a part of that team.
Yeah. Siggy says, only in high school once, so do as much as you can. And Paige following up with, I guess I wish I would have focused more on football and less on the other 2. My thing is this, guys, and it's great for us because we have all three coaches of all three seasons here on the show, but these sports continually try to fight over the kids because you have in-season sports that should be the main focus with, let's say it is baseball season, so baseball should be the main focus. Basketball should be probably the furthest away because the season just ended, and you got football coming up. So I think I talked to I want to say I talked to Gavin Shrum or Mike Morrow from JFK, and they said, listen, our season starts today. Like, football season starts for them today. They don't get a summer, they don't get any of that stuff, but they know that being the state runner-up in football, they're planning to win a state championship this year. So they're I guess high school, not high school baseball, but like Class B or whatever is on the back burner because now you're focusing on the next state title. Is it fair to the kids? And how do coaches juggle this? And I guess the better question is, are some coaches better at sharing and playing in the sandbox than other coaches are? Quinn, you haven't talked in a while. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's like an unwritten rule. I mean, it's kind of like a mutual respect thing. You just, you want the kids to do as much as you want. Like in our situation, like for me, I want the kids to play football. I want them to play baseball. I want them to enjoy high school. I want them to do everything for the school. It builds the community up. When you have people playing multiple sports, I mean, in Northeast Ohio, I mean, Coach, you could agree, probably football kind of runs this area. So, I mean, you want to see them on Friday nights. You want to see them doing what they do for the school. And then, you take the greediness once it comes to winter for us and kind of be like, well, now it's our turn,
I really enjoy going to, see some of my kids, whether it's basketball games, baseball games, see them run track. I kind of enjoy the off season getting to go around and just see them be kids and participate in a lot of other sports.
I don't mean to sound this way, but I have yet to be at a school where all three sports have worked well together.
Yeah.
So it usually turns out where one program is dominant over the others, and that program always seems to come first. So it's really hard for me. I'm always been on we got to work with each other, but I always feel like I'm the only one that feels that way, And with the college coach to look for multiple sport athletes, I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I think it's just a statistic that happens to. I think it's just a statistic that happens to be. It's not. Listen, let's call it what it is, right? College coaches are in the business to win games. That's what they're paid to do. So they're looking for talented players first, and then character players second, right? Yeah. And then after that, it just so happens that they're multiple sport athletes. I don't think that the top priority is going to be multiple sport athletes. Well, I think what happens is the most talented players play multiple sports.
Yeah, the only place I will maybe disagree with you a little bit is I know college coaches that actively say they want football players that are also track athletes because there's directly, relatable skills that happen between the two. But I agree. I think it just tends to be happenstance sometimes that, the best athletes do play multiple sports.
It's just easy to debunk that because if you have a 6'4" quarterback who could throw the ball a mile, who runs a 4.4, and he doesn't play track, coaches don't care.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? For baseball, if a kid throws 95, they couldn't care if he doesn't play bowling or wrestling or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like if a lineman doesn't throw shot put, but he's 6'6" and he's 320 and he's just a man out there, they don't care. As long as they're a good character person, they have good grades, they don't have to worry about them in the classroom. I don't think it matters as much as the statistics. It's really nice to put a statistic out there and say, hey, look, of the college guys that are on scholarships, 71% of them, which is right about where they are, 71% of college scholarships are high school players who used to play multiple sports. I think it's just a cool thing to say, but it's more of it just so happens to be.
I do think, though, that if you've got two kids and they're really close in skill set, let's say they play the same position and they're really close in skill set, and one of them plays multiple sports and the other one just plays one sport, it's probably more likely that the kid with multi-sports is going to be the kid that gets the offer.
That could be very well. I'm sure my opinion, I'm sure there's multiple factors up into that. That's breaking like 4 different tiebreakers until you get to that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, if all else was equal, it probably would obviously go to the multi-sport athlete. I think, Quinn, you can probably talk about this a little bit too, but from a football perspective with my linemen, sometimes I'm looking at the way that they do things footwork wise in basketball to just see, hey, is he going to be able to be a point guard? Is he, if we call that, tackle sweep, or is he going to be able to get out there and make the blocks on the outside for us?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, granted, now at our 2 schools, coach, that you might be a point guard if you play offensive line for our 2 teams. But I mean, you get into those bigger schools like the D1 powerhouses like Menor and St. Ignatius and stuff. Yeah, they look at those kids. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. Can you guard in space? That shows you footwork. At least on a basketball court, it does. I know a good buddy of mine played at YSU. He got recruited through basketball to play football. He was a defensive lineman, though. He was a defensive end. But I mean, he got looked at in basketball because of where he played, and it was too hot to do summer workouts and stuff like that. So he was on the basketball court, and that's how he got noticed.
Jeff, thoughts? Nope. Okay.
No, not really thoughts. You guys really did it. You guys summed it up. Like, if you really the only thing is like, if you're really good at one sport and you want to play that one sport, play that one sport. And if you want to play multiple sports in high school, play multiple sports. And because like Billy said, you only go to high school once. So if I want to try out for the basketball team, try out. You want to play soccer, play soccer. You want to play golf, play golf. You want to play volleyball, play volleyball. Do any sport that you can do. That's all.
That's a great take, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. There was so much going on there. Kind of zoned out a little bit.
Like when you started talking, did you know where you were going to finish?
No. We had to find an ending point. I was like, do we go left? Do we go right? Let's just figure it out.
We made a hard U-turn there somewhere.
I just got the tail end of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, what did they do to Jeff? He's broken.
There was just so much talk there, and I was like, I can't. I got to zone out for a second here. I'm sorry.
I think it'd be really fun. I'm sorry, not to cut you off, DJ, but I think it'd be really fun. We were talking about the 3 of us and, the 3 kind of major sports. I would love someday to be at the same school, all 3 of us together. I think that'd be a blast. Okay.
Be careful what you wish for.
Awesome. Thanks.
I would say be careful what you wish for.
In my head, all I'm seeing is the Michael Scott. No, God, no. Any final thoughts on this, the hefty part of the YSN Power Hour today before we get to the fillets and beefs?
A lot of baseball to be played, man. Be excited about it. That's the tune in all weekend because there is a ton of games all day long from here on out this weekend. So tune in.
A ton. There is going to be a ton, and we got you covered. 5 less games that we thought was going to happen because a couple teams dropped out, but that's all right. We'll keep you covered. And got some softball tonight. I think 6 o'clock. Paul and Anthony teaming up for that one in Boardman. So make sure. Just lock on. Just lock on ysnlive.com/live and just follow the fun because it's all free. It's all for you. And as you're doing your chores or out mowing the grass or whatever you're out doing the rest of this week and into the weekend, know that YSN's got you covered. So let's start off with our G. Burbank Farms What's Your Beef, What's Your Filet, brought to you again by our friends at G. Burbank Farms. Visit them on the web, gburbankfarms.com, or go to New Buffalo Road in Columbiana and hunt them down because that's some beef that you're going to want to eat. Jeffrey, what's your beef or filet?
My filet is that Sunday is Father's Day, so I get to hang out with my dad all Sunday. We get to go play golf. He doesn't know it, but we're gonna go play Windmill Lakes up in Streetsboro. his favorite golf course to play, and get to hang out with him all day. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Atta boy. All right. We go to Billy Mack trying to take care of the dog.
Mine's like a combo, man. It's a beef fillet. For the last, couple years, MLB has been, vilifying Trevor Bauer. And the guy's been right on point about a lot of things that's going on in the league. And it makes me wonder why, outside of the NBA, the league offices pay attention to what the players are saying. With the NFL, they do not, and with the MLB, they do not. And I think that's something that they probably should start looking into is having a bigger authority figure from the players, and not just the players' union or the association. Just in general, listen to certain players, because some of these guys are right on cue with what's going on in the league. So kudos for Trevor Bauer.
All right, Quincy.
It's a filet to the Chipotle in Salem. I got double steak for free. So great. Thanks for messing that up. I appreciate it.
They just recognize you from the Power Hour.
That might be the case, or the fact that I'm there all the time.
That could be it too.
Did you put queso on that?
No, Jeff. Chipotle queso sucks.
Whoa.
It does.
Thanks.
No.
It does. It does.
Hotheads is
I
better.
agree.
Thanks for the sponsorship push, guys.
Listen,
I eat everything else.
We just don't like their
I just don't like
queso.
the queso.
We just don't like the queso.
I think the queso is great.
listen, my bank account will tell you how much I love Chipotle.
Chipotle can send me queso and chips anytime they want.
I don't like
I'm okay
Chipotle.
with that. The rest of you guys, you can eat whatever's left over, I guess.
No queso for us. They're guac.
Coach Ski,
Oh, I like
what are you thinking?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with a beef today, and it's actually a beef with myself, and it's just getting old because after yesterday and running around all day yesterday and being out at Mill Creek, I got home and I crashed. It was like 8:30 and I fell asleep. I woke up at 3:45 in the morning in a panic thinking I was late to get rolling for my day. Got up, took a shower, didn't bother to look outside, walked back into my bedroom and realized it was still only 4 o'clock in the morning.
It happens to the best of us, man. I've gotten up at weird hours of the night and thought that like it's go time.
Yeah. You were saying about thinking it was August.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday, well, it was so cold that when I got outside and take the dogs out, I'm like, did I sleep for 3 months? Like, what just happened here? I'm not used to waking up in June and it's cold outside. Like there was frost on the grass. Well, I guess that leaves me for the.
Thanks, Mac.
What do you do? Which is
great.
And then there was one. So how do I put this lightly? I can't.
Go at it.
I can't.
Go do it, cuz.
So here's it. Here's where it is we have this one outlet / blogger / whatever you want to call them, Score Central, that continues to copy everything we do, and I'm okay with that. Listen, if you're good at anything, somebody's going to try to copy you, and I'm honored, I'm humbled. We're all humbled by it because it's a team effort here. But I got to be honest, I'm starting to get that flying around the room feel where I'm just getting annoyed because things are being taken out of context from what we do or what they do and put into a bubble of this is what we do. We are very separate entities. We do stuff that we think benefits fans and players and coaches and families and sponsors and everything like that. We are a business. You can't be a business if you don't make any money. That is a hobby. I've been told this before. That's why we are now a business. We've all grinded to get better at what we do in order to make this a viable business. Lying and going on podcasts and talking about people and talking yourself up, that's what I guess this is nowadays, is just, self-branding and all this stuff. If you're going to do it, you better be able to back it up. You better be able to talk the talk, and then when you hang up that podcast, you better be able to walk your ass on the walk. Because, listen, man, we have the NWO here. We don't mess around. When you start coming into our lane, into our channel, and you start challenging us, it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well because we do what we do at a very high level. And if you can't match that level, you're going to get squashed like a bug. And it's going to happen. So keep pressing it or stay out of our lane. And that's not a threat. That's a promise. You're going to get squashed, boy. You're going to get squashed. So that's my beef today. Put them up. Wolfpack
Catch
style.
those hands, cuz.
Yeah, you're gonna get hands, man. Like we're not trying to punch you, but you're gonna get slapped around like you've never been slapped around before, verbally. I mean, and we're not bullying you. I'm just tired of hearing about who you are and what you do, as opposed to what in reality you do. So, that's it for our show. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you tomorrow for Free Ball Friday right here on the YSN Power Hour. But until then, what are we going to do, boys?
Wave it.
Fly the flag.
Fly the flag.